Hello everyone and welcome. What is Ananda? What are some deeper insights? Upanishads came the closest to point to or define God, the reality, as Satyam Jnanam Anantam equals Brahman, Taittreya Upanishad, and Sat Chit Ananda equals Atma, Tejobindu Upanishad. And then they proclaimed Atma equals Brahman, or reality of an individual equals reality of the whole. Sat means truth, reality, isness, existence absolute, or being absolute. Chit means awareness, consciousness, or knowing absolute. And Ananda means unbroken peace or fullness or infinity or freedom or loving absolute. Being beyond time and space or self-existing or being everything and knowing bereft of all objects, or self-knowing, or knowing without thinking, or non-dual consciousness, and peace, fullness, that is uncaused, or knowing of your own being, or infinity, anantam. So, Anantam, meaning infinity, at cosmic level is one and the same as Ananda, meaning completeness, at an individual level. Sanskrit word Ananda is beautiful. It does not mean an exotic or emotional state of ecstasy as we normally understand. All states are impermanent. Nanda means happiness. Ananda means unending or uncaused happiness. The root word for Ananda is Ananta, meaning infinity. Ananda is permanent because it comes from the knowledge. Like in the knowledge of 2 plus 2 equals 4 is permanent whether one is joyful or sorrowful. It is interesting to note that the word Ananda is without an opposite. It is so because there is no state opposite to Ananda. If there is any such state, it is that of happiness and misery both. Ananda is uncaused peace in which happiness and misery, which are interconnected opposites, are equally acceptable. Ananda means fullness, desire freeness. Ananda is the shining of being as it is. Ananda is consciousness becoming aware of itself. Ananda is the knowledge that I am full and complete. In its purest form, it is the remembrance of that which we are at our very core, and the sense of relief that permits. Ananda is the source of peace and happiness. It is peace and happiness itself. Bliss is not a good translation of Ananda. There is no equivalent word for it in English, as it is the case with quite a few other spiritual words like the ones I will be referring to next. I have no choice but to use these Sanskrit terms here. There are four kinds of Ananda. 1. Brahmananda or Atmananda, self-revealing bliss of knowledge or awareness, state of enlightenment. You are reality or Brahman. 2. Bhajanananda is bliss arising in a calm and pure mind when seeking spirituality or in meditation, etc. In this state, you are one with reality, but there is still a thin veil of ignorance. You don't know that you are that reality yourself. 3. Vasanananda, bliss arising in a calm, inactive mind when vasanas, which are impressions or karmas or hidden desires, are dormant, like in deep sleep or no duality state. Anandamaya kosha. In this state, you experience reality directly, but you do not know yourself as the reality. It is induced by nature. 4. Vishayananda, bliss arising from the gain of a desirable object or a person, which is intermittent. Vishayananda can be expressed in different ways in our day-to-day lives that will define our relationships. The bliss in which there is no experience of duality and which is not deep sleep or fainting or anesthesia, etc., is the bliss of awareness, Brahmananda. Brahmananda apparently gives rise to the other three Anandas. Brahmananda is the original happiness, can never be experienced objectively. Bhajanananda, Vasanananda and Vishayananda are the forms of reflected happiness which can be experienced. Brahmananda is uncaused, uninterrupted and conscious ecstasy of fullness. It is Ananda itself. It is difficult to jump to Brahmananda from Vishayananda without going through Bhajanananda. Being unknowingly happy, like a baby whose consciousness is merged in objective experience, is not worth it. Experience merging in complete consciousness or ultimate knowledge is the condition of a sage. Brahmananda means I am Brahman. Baby is like someone sleeping on the floor, but not knowing that there is a treasure beneath it. And when you are full and complete, you are desire-free. Brahmananda is a desire-free state because it is Atma or Self itself. Brahmananda is not in the form of any special experience, but it is in the form of understanding that this Ananda or fullness is my nature. There are 5 differences between the original Ananda or Brahmananda and the reflected forms of happiness, which are the other 3. Bhajanananda, Vasanananda and Vishayananda. 1. The reflected happiness belongs to Anandamaya Kosha. It is Koshananda. The original Ananda belongs to Atma itself. It is Atmananda or Brahmananda. 2. The reflected happiness is subject to arrival and departure and is impermanent. The original Ananda is permanent. 3. The reflected happiness is subject to gradation. The original Ananda is not subject to gradation. 4. The reflected happiness can be experienced. It is available for objectification. The original happiness can never be experienced objectively. The original happiness, the Atmananda, is not available for experience objectively, but is available for claiming as our nature. 5. The fifth difference is that the reflected happiness can be attained by two methods. One is through objects or persons, and the other is by practicing detachment and contentment. This happiness obtained through contentment is equal to what is obtained in heaven. However, knowledge alone will allow one to claim the original happiness, Brahmananda. Knowledge of oneself. The door to oneself is the door to all, or the door to God. Thank you.